Hi, I'm Endorsed Spell to Write and Read trainer Liz FitzGerald from Northern California. Welcome. Today I'm going to be talking with you about goal setting. January is a perfect time of year to make some assessments and to make some plans for how you're going to finish out the school year. I'm going to be doing a 5-part series. Today is day 1. And in this series, we're going to look at how to make good plans for the rest of the school year using Spell to Write and Read. Obviously, you can apply this to anything that you're doing, whether it be another curriculum or some kind of a goal that you have for the year. So sit back, get a piece of paper maybe, and let's begin. My first question for you is one that I want you to think about. Why are you teaching your kids? Maybe you're a homeschooler, so that question would be, why are you homeschooling? Why are you using Spell to Write and Read? Why are you doing this? That's a profound question. It might seem simple at first, but I want you to think about it. I want you to answer some questions. What is it that you hope to accomplish? What do you believe the mission that the Lord has given you might be? What do you hope to be the result of your teaching this year? Describe the student that has been successfully taught, or describe the skills that you want that student to have gained by the time you wrap up your lessons in the spring. Think about that. Now, one of the important things whenever you're doing goal setting, I believe, is to pray over what you're doing right now. Pray for the Lord's direction. Pray for His insight. Pray for Him to really clear your heart, to be sure of your motives and your intentions. So I'm going to ask some questions that might sound strange to some of you, might hit the nail on the head for some of others of you. So the question I have first is, are you trying to prove anything to someone else with your children's performance? In other words, if my children are able to do this or that by the end of the school year, well, then that'll show them that. If you're homeschooling, sometimes we push and we make decisions because we're trying to prove that our choices for schooling are good ones. Sometimes you have in-laws or grandparents that aren't supportive of what you're doing, and so you're trying to prove something to them. Think about that. Is that what you're motivated by? Or maybe you're being competitive with somebody, like, I'm trying to catch up because I think that this other teacher is doing such a great job and I'm not good enough, and so I'm trying to be as good as that person. Or maybe you're trying to maybe not be as good as, but you're trying to outshine somebody else. So are you being competitive in some way? Or are you honestly assessing your children's abilities and either pushing them enough and challenging them enough, or maybe you're pushing them too hard and you're causing some conflict that doesn't need to be there? I have to say, I was guilty of all 3 of those back when I was homeschooling and my children were younger. I wanted to validate my homeschool choice. I wanted to prove as a trainer that my performance would somehow produce the results, which I knew would be there if I had just relaxed and let the Lord direct us. So those are some of the things I was guilty of. Think about that. So as you're thinking about your why, as you're thinking about your mission, what I'd like you to do is get a piece of paper, get a pencil, not the computer. Get a piece of paper and a pencil, and I want you to write out the answers to those questions. Why are you teaching your children? Why have you chosen this curriculum? What is it you're hoping to accomplish before you wrap up in the spring? Write it out on a piece of paper. And then I want you to physically put your why, that statement or the answers to those questions, somewhere where you're going to see them on a weekly, if not daily basis. It's important to keep that in front of you. When things get challenging and you're not feeling like you're measuring up, when you feel like you should opt out or maybe change course, it's important to come back to this why. I remember there were times when we were homeschooling where I had it. I was so overwhelmed. And my husband and I had put together what we called at that time a philosophy of education. Why was I even doing this? What was it that we believed we were trying to accomplish? And why had we chosen this method of educating our children? And I would go back to that. And it would help me get back on track. Oh, that's right. This, yes, kitty cat is not happy. It would help me get back on track. So I suggest that you write it down. Don't shortcut this. It's important for you to review it. Put it somewhere, maybe in your lesson planning book. Maybe you need to put it in your Bible. Maybe you need to put it on your bathroom mirror. But write it down. We all know that when we write something with our hand, it does something in the brain that really helps the brain connect with what it is you're trying to do. So write it out and come back and visit it often. Okay, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow for part 2 in this series.